Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the fourth race of the 2026 spring season. We're more than halfway through. Championship is only 6 races, and here we have all 24 kartists lining up for their rolling start.
And hello everyone. We unfortunately are missing a Jeffrey this weekend. He's with us in spirit. He's not dead, but he's dead to us for not showing up. So, hi Jeffrey. Hope you hear this. Anyway, so we got rolling onto the front straightaway, the grid for the start of the race. We have on pole Aiden Flynn. On his outside, we have Chris Strong. And third place, we got David Bosshouse-Billy, followed by Randy Cole. I believe that is Sam Smerico and Alex. And we are getting ready to get the green flag. And off
Flags waved and narrow way.
Looks like a pretty clean even restart. Some car expanding out a little bit further into the pack. Looks like Aiden is going to be able to hold that inside and hold P1. A little bit of a challenge from Kirk as they try to go too wide through turn 2. But 2x2, a couple rows back. Looks like David, for the moment, is able to hang on to third. But as it stands right now, it is Colin Flynn. Sorry, Aiden Flynn. I'm gonna mix that up. There's two of them. The Flying Flynn brothers. Aiden, and then Kirk, and then David was able to break away from the pack, and now it looks like Sam has taken over fourth, and there's 2 wide going into turn 4. Let's see if they can all get clean through here pretty clean. Looks like they do. A little bit of bumping and banging, but for the most part, yeah, pretty clean through there. Good job, everyone. Lap 1 tends to be the danger point there. So,
Yeah, it's a bright and sunny day out here. It's warmer than it's been for quite the last while, and now we're out here pretty dry racing. We should expect to see some really good lap times and some really good racing out here as people test the limits of the grip of the dry conditions.
Yeah, for a lot of these karters, it's probably the first time in months that they've been out here and it has been as nice a day as it is today. So I'm sure everybody is really enjoying the track conditions and the weather today, and hope they keep it clean on track as well. And coming across the line.
So it looks like we have a battle for 4th place right now.
That is... I get the timings up on my phone. Yep. So it's still Aiden out front. We got Kirk Strong in second and David Bosshouse-Billy in third. That's 2 of your top 3 of the championship. So Aiden is going into this race, the championship leader, and then David and Sergey, who is currently in 7th, are the other 2 in the top 3 of the championship. I believe they're separated by about 30 points. And with this race and 2 more to go, that championship battle is going to start heating up and tightening up as we go through here. Each one of those drivers is looking to capitalize as much as they can. So, cutting back to it, looks like we got
a huge battle in the mid-pack going on right now as we see lots of people try to dive up onto the inside. Going through this sequence of corners, they're going to be going through bus stop, and they're going to need to straighten it out before they get into there. The conditions are good enough to go about 2 wide through there, but it would just be nice for their lap times for them to straighten out. And here we see the pirouette, the accordion effect going on through here as many people battle through top of the world and light bulb.
I can't quite identify this moment, but that'll be a pretty close racing at the mid-pack. And so coming back down to the front straightaway, Aiden Flynn looks like he's opening up a little bit of a lead, but we've got Kirk Strong, and I believe that is Garrett Fox in third. That's I haven't seen him take too much after coming to the relay, but that is a newer name to me, so good on Garrett there. Mixing it up for in the front of the pack. And then that means David has fallen to fourth, and followed by Sam Smerico. That is for top 5 as it stands. And as the battle for the lead starts to get a little bit closer, it looks like Kirk is still holding off Garrett for the time being, but Garrett looks like he's got really good pace, and if he's able to get up there with Kirk, he might be able to mix it up for a win today.
Yeah, Derek not looking to lunge up onto the inside of turn 4 quite yet. We can see him break a little bit earlier, giving him the space. Right now he's just learning Kirk right now and learning and trying to lure him into a false sense of security through here, but we know that Kirk is going to be really good about holding on to his 2nd place and being good with the defense. Like, lots of people are out here all the time, and it looks like we have someone hemorrhaging positions as they go a little bit slower through the bus stop. That's why you don't want to go through too wide too often through there.
Now Aiden's best friend out front is Kirk there in second. He can, kind of similar to what happened last week, if Kirk can kind of be the Kirk in the bottle for the remaining of the top 5. That'll allow Aiden a nice free clear opportunity to run away. But here we go, 2 wide. Oh, a dummy being sold by Garrett as he tries to go to the inside of Kirk. Couldn't quite get it there, but I like that was a really cool move there. I was really hoping to see if we can pull that off. That was a nice throw the dummy to the outside, get Kirk to think you're gonna open up the corner, and then shoot back to the inside and try to get him into turn one. I see Garrett has really good pace today, and if you can catch a few more moves like that, I think you'll be able to get by Kirk.
Yep, and so now we're going to see. It's not very windy today, so the draft hasn't been too effective. With that move thrown, that does allow Aiden to move up a little bit further, and behind them is another train looking to catch up and see if they can get their spot on the podium.
Yeah, so single file for the most part. From fourth on back, I believe that is Sam. Yeah, that is still Sam. Merito in fourth. He's got around David, kind of leading that second group outside of the first three. And then a little bit further back, seventh looks like Sergey. So that's currently where your championship protagonists for the time being are situated. Aiden in first, David in sixth, and then David in fifth, and then Sergey in sixth.
Yeah, so the shape of this race is looking to be like a pretty standard front pack, mid pack, and back pack as they all race to secure the most amount of points as possible.
Yeah, it really looks like that secondary pack from about fourth and back is starting to fall its way closer to second and third. Again, looks pretty similar to the race out here last time. The leader's kind of having a nice clear track around him. No one's really trying to make any moves on him, so able to kind of focus and drive his line. Kirk kind of holding off opposition, a strong attack.
But it looks like Garrett is moving up onto the inside. He's going to throw it in there. There's a little bit of contact on the rear bumper, but they both are able to hold it together as Kirk cuts across in front to prevent him from getting that inside line on turn 4.
That's a tricky move into that 4-5 chicane. You think you kind of want the inside, but if you're not able to get the move done on the inside of 4, you'll be on the outside for 5 and 6. So risky move if it pays.
Oh, and there's 3 wide in the backpack through here, through turn 7, but they all sorted out. It looked like there was just too wide for the track, and they all had to really check up and slow up.
Yeah, the nice thing about having a nice stride track is you can worry about stepping off the line without being completely pulled off the racetrack.
And it's really a testament of how much grip is out here that there was so much contact. I'm pretty sure I saw a rear tire lift up a little bit through there, but they were still able to hold on and move on like nothing happened. But the battle still continues.
Second place. And it's Garrett on the outside. Looks like he's got a really good run going down to turn 1. Odds. Kurt, can he hold it around the outside? It's not quite there. He's got to tuck back in going into turn 2. That's a tough move to try to make around the outside of 1, but he's still there. Gets a good run coming out of 2. Looks like he does a juke to the inside. Still not alongside Kirk. Kirk's still putting up a very robust defense to hold on to that second place for the time being. And in the meanwhile, looks like in the background, there's more 2 wide going down into turn 4. Looks like that is David defending from, I believe it's going to be Sam. Yeah, it's going to be Sam. It looks like through all that, Sergey has made his way up to 4th. So Sergey with a strong drive was in the back half of the top 10 before. Now looks like he's worked his way up to 4th. It looks like he's going to be, on the hunt, challenging for a podium.
Yeah, earlier we were making a comment about how there was no wind and so drafts were very hard. The wind just picked up, so we might see some surprise draft overtakes as someone overcooks it in the backpack through there. He's going to be stuck there. He's going uphill, and that's too wide going into him. They need to stop the race, and they avoid him.
That is scary. That is scary to be perpendicular to the track into 6 like that.
Yeah,
everybody got through there, no worries.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get to a reverse in this, so the only way up is to try to take the poor power up the hill, which is very tough.
So going down the French that wind has picked up. It looks like it is a tailwind down the French straightaway, so it looks like it'll be a headwind into turn 4, so look for a lot of moves into turn 4 as you can pull out of the draft. Meanwhile, now our 2-way battle for the second and third positions is now a 4-way battle as Sergey has caught up to that pair. It looks like he's got really strong pace. Let's see if he can make a move stick on the wily veteran Kirk. And in the meantime, Aiden just having a nice Saturday morning drive, not have to worry about any sort of attack from behind and just able to focus on what he's doing.
Yeah, and so you can see in that back straight, there was quite a bit of a gap. They weren't quite equal on their getaway off that corner, but near the end of it, he was able to catch up right up to the back of Kirk.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's really tricky, because if you want to, if you've got good pace, if you're like Garrett and you're like Sergey, who've got good pace, they've been faster than Kirk, but if you make a move and you don't make it stick, well, the way the momentum works here, that pack behind you will be there to swallow you up, and hope you don't lose 3 or 4 spots trying to pick up 1. So as they come through now, Ollie's going to try to want to lay off going into roller coaster and get a run and try to out drag him into turn 1 again. That's kind of your best passing opportunity. He's going to try to shoot to the inside. Is there enough room there? Not quite. Looks like he has to lift a little bit. Kirk opens up the inside into turn 1, but not side by side enough for that to matter. Still, the same order going into 2 is Kirk, Garrett, and Sergey. And behind looks like that is Sam attempting to make another move on David. Those two have been battling back and forth this entire race, and I think that was what Sergey used to kind of leapfrog both of them, was those two battling it out.
But
and
it looks like there might be a little bit of a nose on the inside.
Can he make it stick? Oh, late breaking move in the turn.
And then
4.
Sergey's there as well. And then Kirk off the track, and he's trying to recover, but he's going to be on the outside line. He's going to disrupt some racing lines, and it'll be up to Kirk to try to get back there. He was not expecting Sergey to be on the inside of 4 right there.
Yeah, if anything, it looked like Garrett was able to clear Kirk going into that corner, so Kirk might be a little upset with Sergey maybe not leaving him room. We'll let the stewards sort that one out, but in all that, Kirk falling from a strong second place, that like I just mentioned, you lose momentum, you go off the track a little bit, that's 4 or 5 places, and he lost just right there. So I'll keep an eye on the steward to see if they have any sort of point to black flag or anything like that, and anybody.
And here's Aiden running away with it.
Yeah, Aiden has had really good pace out front. I think Garrett and Sergey have had really good pace too. Now they're kind of cleared of that.
Yep, and there's the black flag. Yeah, there's the pointed black flag.
Back down. We still have about 8 minutes left, so probably about 4 more laps or so. So let's see if that is enough time for those two to just to hunt down our leader, or if our leader Aiden is just going to be able to stay away with it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this battle in the mid pack here as these people eventually straighten it out. I haven't seen too wide, but I do see a decent draft up on the back straight right here.
Yeah, and you can see just from that, Kirk fell from 2nd all the way down to 8th in just that 1 lap from just going off track a little bit and losing that momentum. So now we have same leader up front, so, and then now we've got Garrett, and then Sergey is now finishing out podium. And then through all that, David and Sam have now worked their way up to 4th and 5th with Randy Cole right behind them. And then we've got Alex and then Kirk now kind of at the back of that, looks like 5 or 6 car train there. So that is kind of where I would keep an eye on to see where the new kind of action might be getting up from. Kirk trying to make a drive back through the pack after what he clearly thinks is a little bit of unfair argument between a couple of points, but we'll see how this goes. And all right, coming down the front straightaway, Aiden's still out front. He has about let's see as the timing comes up on my end. He's got about a 2-second lead. Looks like Garrett has a little bit better pace than him at the moment. It's about 0.3 faster. Both he and Sergey are about 0.3 faster than our leader. So they are quicker, but will they have enough time to track him down is the question. That's why it's important to kind of build that lead while you have free in case something like this happens where someone's faster comes through. You want to have as much time as you can to stay out in front. And those 3 are pretty well separated through turn 4 here. Looks like we still have David is now the new head of that train with Sam, Randy, Alex, and then now Kirk up in 7th. Oh no, sorry, Kirk in 8th, right behind Alex.
Yeah, I mean it looks like there was.
Yeah, 2 wide. Looks like Sam got moved by Randy or something like that. Maybe missed the corner through there. It looks like he's going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 spots from that exchange. And
There was
David,
a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a mistake in momentum, and then that completely split up the pack, and everyone had to sort themselves out back into that straight line.
Going back to what I said, you got to pick your spot to pass wisely. If you aren't able to make it stick to a tight corner, and then you're on the outside for the next corner, boom, 2-3 spots gone, just like that. And coming onto the front straightaway, David still on the head of that pack. Now Randy Cole up right behind it. Again, trying to make a move to the inside, going into turn 1. There's enough space left, and Randy goes through. A little bit of contact behind as David has to take an awkward line through 1. Looks like it pulls everybody else up, but he slots right back in behind Randy. You're gonna lose the spot. You only want to lose 1. You don't want to compound that mistake anymore.
Yeah, very good move, although it looks like someone's looking to be on the outside going into the back straight here.
Back a look at our leaders, so that gap in the front has come down by about another half a second or so. So this is...
We have 2 wide going into turn 4 as we're going to try to dive up through in there. He needs to get his spot back quickly, and it looks like there was enough chaos going on behind. 2 wide still continuing.
That looks like Alex is now the next person to be hung out to dry, and Kirk is on the charge. He has cut his way through that pack He was 8th. Now he's up to, looks like that is 5th, battling for 6th, battling for 5th. And he has just used the kind of chaos of everybody trying to overtake and re-overtake, pass, repass to just slowly move his way back up to try to rightfully claim what he thinks is rightfully his. That spot in P2.
Yep. And there was a pointed black flag earlier at Sergey, so we're going to see how things get resolved. But Kirk still has time to get as many positions as he can.
All right, so it looks like David was able to get through that shuffle again. Got back around Randy to the remainder of the lap. And then now Randy is kind of in the head of that train. Now it looks like there's about 8 carts in that. The more they fight, the more people get added in. And we return our attention back up to P1 and P2. That is another 5-6 tenths of a second that Garrett has taken out of Aiden just in the last lap. So he's gained over a second in the last lap. And we still have 4 minutes left, so about 2 laps to go. So this could very quickly turn into a battle up in the front for the lead.
And then
You think you're running away from it. Someone's going to come creep back up and going to catch you with really good pace.
Yep, and so, yeah, Garrett has a really good chance of taking it last second, but here we have our mid-pack, our mid-train, and it is looking very clean for the moment, as I'm not seeing too wide going into bus stop. People are taking it straight. People are going to be maximizing their exit into roller coaster so that way they can get all the momentum that they need for that draft in the back straight, which is where it's at because that's where the headwind is.
All right, let's take a look at the top 2 going into roller coaster now. So Garrett can get a good run out of roller coaster and not make contact with Aiden. I think he'll have a really good run going into turn 1 here. There he goes. He tucks into the slipstream. Aiden opens up the inside. Garrett goes down to the inside. Looks like they're going to leave enough room. The white flag is out. This is the last lap and a pass for the lead. From 2 seconds back, Garrett has now taken the lead as Aiden falls back to second. A really nice clean pass for the lead here on coming under the white flag.
Yeah, sprung a surprise on him, but here we are at the mid-pack as David is holding on to his lead spot, as I think there might be a Kirk in there.
Kirk is charging his way through that pack now, trying to get back up to 4th. On the outside, kind of keep an eye on 2 things at once here. The battle for the lead going down into 4 and 5. Those Aiden and Garrett are still very close. The battle for 4th going into turn 4 as well now. David holding off that train of 8 carts now. As we're here on the last lap, so if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen here. Look for a big explosion. As patience has run out, everybody knows this is their last chance to make any sort of move.
Yeah, everything will be on this final straight coming out of roller coaster.
All right, everybody. So far, Garrett with a good run through. That's a fantastic drive back after being caught in behind Kirk for a little while. Got up to second and was able to track down the leader as he comes down through roller coaster.
But speaking of our leader, we now have Garrett in the lead with Aiden right behind him.
Looks like it's slipstream with Aiden coming out of there. Throwing the boat across the line. It's a photo finish, but I think Garrett was just able to hold off Aiden. What a fantastic drive by him.
Sergey in 3rd, and now we have 4th.
David holds off that pack for 4th. 5th is Randy Cole. 6th is going to be Kirk Strong, but throwing the boat, bringing it home across the line to win the race. I believe that it's his first win. That's a newer name for me, but that's a first win for someone. That is fantastic. Great race, great drive by him today.
Yeah, fantastic racing out here. It was very good conditions for it. We had our classic front runaway pack, and then we had the classic story of Garrett taking that lead on that final lap and then being able to hold on to it. And then, of course, we got all the fun and chaos in that mid-pack. There was some unfortunate off-roading that happened. There was pointed black flags. There might be penalties applied, but we will see that.
We should see contact. If there's any changes on the podium, that'll be why. I think the only change would be if they make Sergey drop back a spot or 2 behind Kirk. But otherwise, as it stands, your top 3, Garrett, Aiden, and Sergey.
Yeah, we will see that at the podium. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you there.
Yeah, thanks for coming out real quick. That was a bit bumpier than I would like going into the first couple of corners. I know it's a grid, that's a lot of people, you know, contact happens, but let's try to do a little bit better on those if you wouldn't mind. I really don't want to have to penalize people in turn 1, you know, in a league race, so make sure we're a little cleaner moving forward. If not, then we're just gonna, you know, we gotta bring the bay and hammer out. Okay, well, starting with 3rd place with the best lap time of 78.7 with a hell of a drive there. We got Sergey. Did you got the last one of the me design trophies. We're not making any more of those. So. What? We went to a different option. So you got the last one. Yeah. All right, and in second place with the best lap time of also 78.7, we got Aiden Flynn. All right, and taking it away with the best lap time of 78.2 seconds with the first league race back in a while. We got Garrett Foss.